And I'm John Bush. Today we're going to go over the process of making a rubber gun start to finish, kind of the molding process start to finish. We've already molded the gun, but we'll be talking about how the rubber gun was cast and then the painting process to make it look like a real gun. So starting the process, to make a replica of a rifle in this case, we would start with the original gun. So if this were the original gun, we would be taking clay and pressing it into all of these holes so that in the molding process the silicone can't leak into the gun. Everywhere where there's a gap, we have to press clay in all the crevices so that the silicone can't leak in and get jammed and locked into the mold. So in this case, we got a real Barrett 50 caliber. We pressed clay into every opening, trying to keep as much detail as we possibly can, and smoothed the clay to keep it all flat and looking nice to produce a good product at the end. Once we did that, we built a box to house the original part. We created a split that divided the gun in half, an upper and lower half, and then we poured the RTV silicone over top. The RTV silicone takes 6 to 8 hours to cure per side. You can accelerate it, but it'll produce less parts per mold. So in this case, we didn't accelerate it. We poured the first side. 6 to 8 hours later, we flipped the mold, removed the split, which is the divider for the gun, and poured the second side, which is what you see here. In the casting process, once the mold has been made, a lot of times we will take baby powder and brush it into the mold. The baby powder removes any moisture and creates a drier surface so that when we go in and we skin it, which is essentially we're pouring elastomer in and we brush it to create a perfect skin so that there's no surface bubbles. Once we skin it, we make armatures that are used to keep the gun rigid. So another step is creating armatures for your cast product prior to actually casting it. In general, we will take the mold and we will lay our armatures into the mold for sizing and shape. In this case, we've taken fiberglass rod and run it from the front end to the back end of the gun. We've then taken aluminum tubing and bent it and run it up from the handle up into the body of the gun. In the magazine, just for support, we use steel wire. And in the magazine, we've used steel wire to run it down into the magazine and back into the body of the gun. The trigger guard has a stainless steel wire that curves around the bottom and into the trigger so that it supports the trigger. And then in the back end of the gun, in the butt, there's a stainless steel wire that runs through, back up, and then back up to the front of the gun.
Is there anything else?
That's it on the armatures.
On the armatures?